Hi, this is Tim Perry. I'm the managing editor of Multi-Channel Merchant. I'm with Bill Siwicki, the vice president of mobile strategy and research at GP Shopper, and also an adjunct professor at the Kelstad Marketing Center at DePaul. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Correct. All right, Bill, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, pretty good.
Good, good. We're here at Shop.org 2015 in Philadelphia at the Philadelphia Convention Center. Hopefully that's the correct name of this, and it's not the Pennsylvania Convention Center. But we're in Philadelphia, so that's what counts. So Bill, the year of mobile finally came last year, and the numbers the retailers are showing us so far shows that that's not going to change. It's going to keep on going. Why do you feel that mobile took off the way it did last year, and why it's not slowing down?
Mobile has been a slow progression over the last 8 years since the iPhone was introduced in 2007, and it just so happens that last year was the year when mobile traffic on the internet went over 50%. So it was that evolution, and it finally hit last year. And a lot of retailers are seeing their traffic spike above 50%. On Thanksgiving last year in 2014, Walmart hit 70% mobile traffic. So it was just a natural part of the evolution of consumers adopting mobile devices and mobile devices becoming more friendly. Last year we saw the iPhone get bigger, and the bigger the screen, the easier it is to use. We saw Touch ID and Apple Pay debut, and that made buying on smartphones much, much easier. That was always the biggest hurdle on smartphones, was the checkout process. So the technology got better, consumers flocked to it, and now we're in a situation where mobile dominates.
With that coming into this year, do you see even bigger growth? Like I know Walmart was 70%. Do you see that going even higher and higher?
Oh yes. It will evolve and continue to evolve, and it will get higher. But it's slowing down now. The growth rate is slowing down. This year, according to ComScore, there's 20 million more mobile shoppers than last year. And obviously those numbers were higher in previous years. And it's going to start slowing down. The smartphone penetration rate is about 77 or 78% of all mobile phones today. And that will get up to 90%, a little more than 90% as our senior citizen friends still stay with their jitterbugs. That's not going to change. There still will be some non-smartphones around. But yeah, it's starting to slow a little bit. Tablet sales are very close to level. Everyone that's wanted a tablet has got one now, more or less. So we're kind of finally there, as you say. Last year, the year of mobile finally arrived. Everything hit. We're here. The numbers will go up. The holiday season last year, I believe, 23% of digital sales last year were mobile during the holidays. I would certainly think that's going to top 30% this holiday season. And again, those numbers are definitively going to keep going up as consumers shift more and more of their internet activities to smartphones and tablets.
You presented yesterday with Walgreens. I think they do a very good job of mobile commerce, I think, especially when it comes to differentiating their photo site from everything else that they sell too, and making it very easy to use. What mobile retailers do you think are doing such a good job that the rest of the community can learn from them?
First and foremost, I'm sure you could probably figure out my answer to this one would be Amazon. Amazon has been the leader. They go back to, I think it was 2001, with a WAP site, a wireless access protocol site. I mean, they just have been on top of everything. If you look at Amazon's app today, they have accumulated so many features and functions that they have just created this shopping machine. So for example, site search. If you go to their site search box in their app, you can search by text, you can search by voice, you can search by visual search with a picture or a scanning, moving picture. You can do everything. And so Amazon is a great place to look for inspiration. Some other retailers that are really nailing it, Walmart. If you look at Walmart and flip into store mode, that is a really great experience. If we were right here, right now, we'd be in digital selling mode, and it would make sense for us to be shopping on the smartphone. But when you walk into a Walmart store, it flips. And then you have store maps, you have the barcode scanner, you have everything presented to you that you want to do in a store. And that is really the way to do it. Target is another good one. Target Cartwheel is another good one for mobile coupons, a specialty app. I would say look to some pure plays, some web-only retailers like Beyond the Rack or Rent the Runway. Some of these web-only retailers have really nailed it. And I would also say, something I did in my presentation yesterday, is retailers should not limit themselves to looking in retail. eBags, which was someone I mentioned in the presentation, looked to Tinder, the dating app. And Tinder, with its pictures, when you're going through to find a date, you hit the X, or you hit the heart for hot and the X for not. Hot, not. And you can scroll through all kinds of people. And eBags took that concept and brought it to women's handbags. And there's an X and there's a heart for handbags, and women go hot, not. And it learns along the way. There's an algorithm that starts saying, oh, this woman likes these types of handbags, and starts presenting more of those. And you wind up filtering through essentially search results in a much more fun, gamified, effective manner. And eBags raised their conversion rate to 10%, not by 10%, but to 10%. 10% of the people who use that tool bought a handbag. So you can look outside of retail for inspiration too.
No, that's interesting. It seems like for years people have been trying to figure out how to win mobile and also how to win social commerce. It sounds like eBags has done both.
Yes, like I said, there's so many good things going on in mobile right now, in such a vast array of verticals and different types of apps, that people shouldn't limit their imagination to we're only looking at retail. The social world and dating, entertainment, streaming. There's so many different kinds of things going on that retailers can learn from.
We were talking a little bit earlier about the store mode and how mobile works in the store as well. And I know that your company does a lot of work with beacons. How can retailers take advantage of the beacon as well to make it an even bigger part of the whole omni-channel customer experience?
Beacons offer great potential, and unfortunately, to date, not a lot of retailers have really grabbed the idea and run with it. Lord & Taylor, Hudson's, Macy's, Target, there's a handful of national chains that have rolled out beacons and are experimenting with them. You can do so much with beacons. If I'm walking by the cologne counter and I get a push notification that says, today only, 15% off all colognes, I'm gonna stop. My path will be impeded by that push notification, and I will stop and look. Unfortunately, from my point of view, based on all of the retailers that I've talked with, the biggest hurdle to location-based marketing with beacons are the retailer executives themselves. They fear the creepiness factor or the big brother factor of location-based marketing. But what I always say is the only people that you can do location-based marketing with, like with Beacons, which has to go through an app, are people that have said, yes, you can use my location and track me, and yes, you can send me relevant push notifications. So these are people, a group of people you have in a marketing database who have all said, please send me these location-based messages. But the retailer executives are the ones who are shying away from it still, who are worried, and you know, understandably worried. They don't want to freak out their customers, but at the same time, their customers have bought these expensive devices, are walking around in their stores with these expensive devices, and want to be dazzled by these expensive devices. So it's up to the retailers to grab these opportunities and use tools like Beacons to amaze customers and to better serve them. And then as they use Beacons, the retailers get all of this extra data that comes in from location and from how a customer is going through their store, and that leads to planograms and, you know, all sorts of things that retailers can do with all this new data.
Also with location-based, there's still mobile. I mean, a lot of times I'll do okay, I need to find this item now. Where's the closest? Is there a store nearby that has this? And I'm going to look on my phone, find out where it is, and bam. Now, what kind of data is being collected about me in that case? Is that more of okay, we know that this is an item that will sell in this area, or do they just find out something as simple as what area code something, zip code? I'm sorry, what zip code something sold in?
They can track the location via GPS of where someone might use a store locator, for example, to say, get me to the nearest store. And the real juicy information, the real meaningful information that they can gather is in the store. You could do some tracking around a store, and especially if you have beacons that are sending messages out to, nearby, like in a mall kind of setting, you can start tracking traffic and stuff like that. But for store locator and I believe you mentioned for inventory, at the nearest store, that doesn't necessarily generate as meaningful information as does what's going on inside the store.
And definitely more of a customer service tool to help lure the. I shouldn't say lure the customer in, but bring the customer.
Get the customer in.
Yeah,
yes.
get the customer in
yes.
the store. Yeah. Finally, you were talking yesterday about some of the big tips that retailers could use to get their mobile strategy up and running or fine-tuned even for the holiday season. If there was one tip that you would hope everyone would bring home from shop.org and implement as soon as they get back to their offices, what tip would that be? Or are there more than one tips that are as super important?
I would say the most important tip for the holiday season this year, and it's one that I shared in my session yesterday here at shop.org with the audience, is mobile exclusive offers, and particularly offers focused on mobile heavy days. So what I presented in the session yesterday was last year in 2014, the busiest mobile day was Thanksgiving. So everyone had their big meal and then was at home messing around on their devices or checking for tomorrow's Black Friday deals. And then, of course, a lot of retailers started opening up on Thanksgiving and were moving Black Friday to Thursday and still calling it Black Friday. So a mobile exclusive offer on a day like Thanksgiving is very rich and very rich with possibilities, very rich with potential. And when you keep people in mobile, you're driving them to great experiences, especially if you have an app. So if you have an app, for example, you can send a push notification out on Thanksgiving Day saying, today only, get a jump on Black Friday deals, 10% off whatever. Offer some incentive in a push notification to come to the app and shop. And you can use that on any number of days. You have Black Friday, you have Cyber Monday, you have Green Monday, you have last day to get shipping to December 24th, last free shipping cutoff date. There's all kinds of things going on in the holiday season where you can communicate with your customers by their command center, because a smartphone is the life command center for everybody, where you can communicate directly with them there and get them shopping. And you can also, frankly, use things like push notifications or other messaging on the smartphone to get people into a store. So you can use the smartphone to drive people into the store. And if you're doing, as we said, location-based messaging, you can get people who are in a mall where you have a store to come into your store instead of going to another store. And again, it's all very incentivized. The big thing about mobile messaging, push notifications, for example, is it beats the noise of the email inbox. Their email inboxes are so noisy. You're getting right to the home screen, but offer an incentive. Give the person something, to do, something to come in for. And I would say mobile exclusive offers in a holiday period that's going to be more mobile than any holiday period that has preceded it are very important.
Yep. One final question, actually, and that is, how do you get the shopper to actually download your app and actually be active in using it? Is that getting a little more? It's obviously it's important to the retailer, but it's getting a little more important to the consumer in their life to actually have the apps for all their favorite retailers downloaded.
Certainly. Well, the one person you don't have to worry about downloading your app is your core loyal customer. Core loyal customers want the app because they know the app is the richest, best experience, and they're your best customers, and they're going to download the app. Now, you have to do some marketing to get more people to download your app. You have to really let people know on your website, in your email marketing, in any messaging that you do, that you have an app, that it offers these unique tools and features to get more people to download it. But what I would suggest is ComScore just came out with their 2015 State of Mobile Apps report last month, and 54% of all digital time, so that's desktop, laptop, tablet, smartphone, wearable, everything, 54% of digital time is spent in a mobile app, and 44% of all retail digital time is spent within a mobile app. So the point there is that consumers have made their preference known. They like apps. They'd rather be in an app than on a website. And that's because the apps are just better experiences. So there's a natural movement of consumers to apps. And once you get an app out there, advertise it, promote it, get your core customers in there, get good word of mouth, get a good, very important, get a good star rating in the App Store. You have to put your best foot forward, and your best foot forward first, right out of the gate, and get those loyal customers to like it and review it. There becomes a natural viral effect to getting more and more people to download the app.
Well, Bill, thank you so much for your time today at Shop.org. I know you got a busy schedule, and we're really happy you spent some time with us.
Happy to help.
All right.
Glad to be here.